Thank you. Thank you. All right, now, you know, I didn't know this man.
I'm going to go over the ladies' room, so if you want
Hey,
to
folks,
sit here,
what are we, rolling sevens down there? Come on, please be quiet. Be respectful to the inductees. Thank you. I didn't know this man a year ago. And he and I, actually, we still don't know each other. But Stu Dunn is a delightful guy. He's been so involved. He's so charming. But I'm not going to introduce him. I'm not going to introduce him. I'm just not going to do it. Jim Jacobs, come on in. Okay, you know, keep it to like 10 seconds, okay?
Rock and roll is here to stay, it will never die. All right, if you don't know, in 1970 I had a little idea to write a show about Taft High School and the people who were there. The show ended up being called Grease. I had to make a decision about coming here today from Southern California because you may or may not know that tonight are the Emmy Awards. Grease Live is nominated for 10 Emmy Awards. But when they said the Taft Hall of Fame, it took about 2 seconds to decide where I wanted to be. How many people here went to Garvey Grammar School? The guy I'm going to introduce, Stu Dunn, I've known since we were 6 years old. I met him in, I guess it was about 1948, in first grade at Garvey. And he's my best friend, and we've been buddies all these years. He's a dentist, and as people say to me, when you come to Chicago, does he do your teeth? And I say, I know where those hands have been. From mud pies to drive-in movies, I'm going to tell you. Anyway, enough said. Dr. Stuart Dunn.
All right, Stu, here it is. I didn't win. How do you always do this to me? I can't even believe it. Italian blood. Oh.
No. First of all, before I say what I want to say, what I prepared, I just want to say something that came to my mind while I was sitting there. Last year, my uncle died, 97 years old, World War II vet. Tom Day came to the funeral and played the bugle. It was wonderful. And I never had an opportunity because as the funeral went on, Tom left. So, formally, I don't know where Tom's sitting.
Right up there. Stand up, Tom. Right there.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, now, what I have prepared. Last year, when Jim Grabowski was inducted into the Hall of Fame, he probably went home and had to rearrange all the trophies in his trophy case to make room for, at that time, it was a Taft Eagle. Well, I'm not going to have that problem. For the number of trophies in my trophy case is now doubled. And this is going to go right next to my 1954 Norwood Park Little League Championship. When I heard that I was nominated, I was really shocked. Because I always thought that the only Hall of Famers in my house was my wonderful daughter, Ilana, and especially my wife, Tori, for putting up with me for all these years. And when Rick told me that I had to write a bio, I'm thinking, what in the world have I ever done in my lifetime to make me Hall of Fame worthy? I mean, all I've ever tried to do was to be fair, be a voice of reason, and always try to do the right thing. Now, I'm not sure any of those attributes makes me a Hall of Fame worthy, but here I am on the same stage with all these deserving inductees. I am honored, I am humbled, and I want to thank all those who voted for him. Now, let's talk about Taft High School. What a great 4 years, what a great education. I think of Miss Casey, my algebra teacher, who would be proud to know that people call me the numbers man. And then I think of Mr. Postal, my English teacher, who taught me how to put words together to make a coherent sentence. And then I think of Joe Cupslet, my football coach, who taught me all about accountability and self-discipline. And lastly, I think of fellow inductee, the late Irv Stein, who instilled in me a love of history. But most of all, what I think of are the wonderful friendships that I have made. And many of these friendships have lasted to this day, some 60 years later. And many of these friends are here today. As you can tell, when they all started. But there are two friends in particular that I would like to single out because they are fellow inductees. Kenny Cordes. The sophomore outside the girls' gym. Kenny. All-American at Louisville. 9th overall pick in the NFL draft. Played 6 years in the NFL. Now that's Hall of Fame worthy. And then there's Greg Schumacher, who I met as a freshman. I would sit outside his house on a park bench, too shy to ring the doorbell and too afraid of his father. Now Greg, arguably the best all-around athlete to ever come out of Taft High School. Played on 2 Big Ten championship teams, one in baseball, one in football. And he played 4 years in the NFL before injuries ended his career. And at a Rose Bowl reunion, his old Illinois baseball coach told him, "Greg, you picked the wrong sport." Now think about that for a minute. Now that's Hall of Fame worthy. And here I am, little old D, Stewie Dunn, being honored alongside these Taft greats, my childhood friends. I mean, humbling is really an understatement. So let me close with this quick story that I feel is appropriate. 1967, my father was dying of cancer, and he was being treated by this world-renowned neurosurgeon that he grew up with back in Canada. So one day, Greg was at a hospital visiting, and in walks this doctor, and my dad introduces him to Greg and proudly says, "Greg, this is my pal, this is my buddy. We grew up together." And with that twinkle in his eye, he says, "Just think, Greg, my buddy, he grew up to be a world-famous neurosurgeon, and I grew up to be his patient." So now let's fast forward to today, 49 years later. Here I am, on the same stage with my childhood friends. And with that same twinkle in my eye, I say to you, just think, my buddies grew up to be living legends in the annals of Taft High School. And I grew up to be this little gray-haired Jewish dentistry student. Thank you for this great honor. Take a look. He's not going anywhere.
Going anywhere yet. This guy is not going anywhere yet. We started out by saying that the William Howard Taft Hall of Fame is not a Hall of Fame of great athletes, millionaires, great businessmen, great businesswomen, actresses, acting. We're not. Here's what it is again, and I want you to pay attention. Inductees to the William Howard Taft Hall of Fame are persons whose pursuit of excellence and deep commitment to achievement exhibit widely known expressions of enthusiasm in both word and deed that inspires others to reach goals that common experience demonstrates are a problem. This guy is Hall of Fame material. All right, we're going to move forward. Mr. Jack Dustin. Come on, Jack. Ladies and gentlemen, Jack Dustin.
Thank you. I feel very privileged to be here around these wonderful, accomplished human beings from Taft High School and beyond. I wanted, my family said, make this short. But anyway, I'd like to say thank you again.